ASMR gaming news. Please hit that like button, sit back, relax, and let's begin. First off, we received some more Nintendo Switch news this past week. First, the Nintendo Switch will potentially be able to read up to 2 terabytes of SDXC cards. These currently do not exist on the market for sale, but this is Nintendo's way of future-proofing the system so that in a few years from now, when there are 2 terabyte cards you can buy, the Nintendo Switch will be able to use these and people will be able to further expand the memory capacity of their units. Nintendo also confirmed that the Nintendo Switch will be region-free, but that it will have the ability to switch accounts and create up to 8 accounts on each individual Nintendo Switch. So, we still need to receive some more details about this, but hopefully this means that you'll be able to have multiple accounts on a Nintendo Switch and switch between them. Like, let's say you want to buy something from the Japanese store. You just create an additional account and buy some stuff from the Japanese Nintendo eShop and then switch back to your own account whenever you want to play your own games. You can do this on the PlayStation Network, so hopefully Nintendo does something like this for the Nintendo Switch. And now for some slightly odd Nintendo Switch news. Nintendo of America's Reggie Fils-Aimé said in an interview this week that the Nintendo Switch will have a mobile phone app for online voice chat and server matchmaking and for other online related stuff. They still need to clarify or expand upon this, but the impression that a lot of people online have taken away from this interview is that you will not be able to voice chat or play online with just a Nintendo Switch, but you're going to need an additional application on your mobile phone in order to play online. So you won't be able to even use the Nintendo Switch and the internet to connect to play online. Nintendo's apparently gonna have an app released for iPhones and Android devices for you to be able to tether your Nintendo Switch and group up with friends, message friends, do voice chat and matchmaking for online rooms and servers. So this seems really odd, and I hope that they clarify upon this in the future because it seems like a really odd decision. Hopefully, this statement is proven to be incorrect or something, because the Wii U and Nintendo 3DS do not currently work this way. So it's kind of strange that Nintendo would change their way of handling online connectivity so differently than what they've done in the past. And now for more happy news. Pokemon Sun and Moon are now the fastest selling Nintendo games to clear 4 million in sales in such a short period of time. So Pokemon Sun and Moon just came out a few months ago, and they already cleared 4 million in sales. This is a historical moment for Nintendo, and like I said before, this is probably because of the popularity of Pokemon Go in the summer and it really helped in like the resurgence in the overall popularity of Pokemon. So people that haven't played a game in a long time probably remembered these games and decided to pick it up for the Nintendo 3DS. Nintendo held a Fire Emblem Nintendo Direct this week where they announced a new Nintendo 3DS game called Fire Emblem Echoes, along with the already announced Fire Emblem Warriors for the Nintendo Switch. And after they revealed those titles, they also teased an additional Fire Emblem game coming out for the Nintendo Switch in 2018. Now, this game that's coming out in 2018 is apparently going to be more classic or traditional in style. It's not going to be a Dynasty Warriors type game, but what Fire Emblem fans can traditionally expect from a Fire Emblem game. So, hopefully that turns out to be really cool. That's about like a year or 2 years away, so who knows when we're going to get that game. Nicolis or Nicalis, I really don't know how to pronounce their company name, but they tweeted an image on Twitter teasing their upcoming Nintendo Switch games, and they took this picture down because maybe they weren't supposed to release this screenshot yet, but they did, and a lot of people saved the image online. And you can see in the picture that they have Cave Story, The Binding of Isaac, Afterbirth, Plus, and 1001 Spikes. These are all games published by Nicalis. And we don't know if they're going to be like enhanced versions or ports with special features or something, but it seems like we should be expecting some more games on the Nintendo Switch, which is awesome because those games are really good, so I can't wait to play them. People have also noticed that in the photo that was taken, you can make out what the Nintendo Switch user interface might look like. And you can see at the bottom there seems to be like a notification or message icon. Then you can see the eShop icon, a screen capture or picture icon. Then there's like a Joy-Con feature icon. It's probably to switch between, I assume, different modes of the Joy-Con. Like if you want to slide them off your Nintendo Switch, maybe you go into those settings and you like configure your Joy-Cons. Then there's an options button and a power button. There doesn't seem to be like a web browser or any like activity log or notes or certain other features that Nintendo has offered on previous devices. So I wonder if this is just a developer unit or if the actual Nintendo Switch is going to include, more features internally, like maybe a clock or a calendar or something like that. But it's still really nice to be able to get a look at the UI. The previously announced Double Dragon 4, which I believe I covered in about 2 weeks ago, but we have received additional game screens, so screens from the game, and they look really awesome. We can get a feel for the gameplay. It looks like it's going to be like very classic beat-em-up style. It's going to retain the classic NES sprite work art. So if you're a fan of the NES sprite work, it's probably going to be in this game. It looks like it's a mixture between the NES and slightly SNES, but it seems to have more of an NES style to it. Hopefully it has the classic Double Dragon sound for the music. I really like the NES Double Dragon music. And great game for fans of Double Dragon. I remember playing Double Dragon on the NES, and there's like that one forest level with like really scary music. And it's like a really fun beat 'em up. It seems really simple, but the gameplay is actually a lot of fun, and the music's really good. So I hope they can capture that feeling again. I think the game comes out in about a week, so there should be reviews up and stuff. So can't wait for that. It was recently revealed that Kratos in the new God of War game, his son in the game is called Atreus. And I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Atreus, I believe is the correct pronunciation. But for those that don't know, he does appear in Greek mythology. This character, I think, was outcast by the gods for killing his brother, and was then on the run from his father or family. So who knows how that's gonna turn out for this game? Maybe he isn't Kratos' son, but maybe Kratos adopted him, or who knows? It's definitely gonna be an interesting game. Maybe this is like a foreshadowing of what might happen later in the game. Maybe there's gonna be like some father-son dynamic that doesn't go right in this story, so who knows? It does sound really interesting though. It was revealed this week that Kojima Productions is taking away all the great talent from Konami for themselves. So, for those that don't know, after Hideo Kojima left Konami, or was forced to leave Konami, he started his own development studio, and it seems like he wanted to save all his former colleagues, his friends from his former development teams. So he started offering them new jobs at his new development studio, and was basically just calling his friends and being like, hey, do you guys want to work for me? I'll hire you. So a large amount of his old team is now moving over to Kojima Productions, and apparently Konami doesn't seem to care about this. So this is great. So Kojima will be able to use all these developers that are his friends and they've worked together in the past, and he can use them to help him in his upcoming game, like Death Stranding and whatever games he decides to do after that. So that's really nice for him to do that. It seems like Sony's chief, Shuhei Yoshida, was spotted in Japan at the Nintendo Switch event, playing the handheld Nintendo Switch. Now, it's been revealed in the past that Shuhei Yoshida has a positive view of Nintendo. He has stated in the past that they're a good company and he enjoys their games and systems. He actually owns a couple Wii U's. He tweeted about this a couple years ago. But it makes sense that he'd want to check out the competition's, new handheld, and since I believe he works nearby, so it wouldn't take him any time to just go over and check it out. And fans took advantage of the situation and decided to snap some photos of him. And you can see him right here just checking out the Nintendo Switch. And yeah, it's certainly really nice to see rival game companies check out each other's consoles or handheld systems. Really nice. I believe even said some nice things about it on Twitter. So next, Injustice 2, the sequel to the highly anticipated Injustice Gods Among Us, is a fighting game, and it has received a new trailer this week. It looks really awesome. Fans of DC Comics will be able to spot certain characters from the trailer. And there's already speculation going on character motivations inside the game are going to be. People are saying that perhaps this is going to follow a certain timeline or storyline from the comics. But it definitely looks really interesting, and hopefully it does very well because superheroes are currently really popular, and fighting games are not as popular as they've been in the past, so it would be nice to see this game do great in sales. Gravity Rush 2 is launching today. You can already find it in stores as of right now. Fans have been enjoying the game, and early impressions are pretty good. I remember playing the original Gravity Rush on the PlayStation Vita when it came out, and it was a really unique game. For the time, it looked like one of the best games on the PlayStation Vita, and it was one of the most anticipated exclusives on it, so it makes sense that they decided to release it at the sequel as an exclusive for the PlayStation 4. You should definitely check it out if you're interested. I think there's a demo on the PlayStation Store. I know some regions got the demo and some other regions did not, but it should be easy to find some gameplay on it online. The game uses anti-gravity controls, so you can control gravity, and you can manipulate where your character moves, and manipulate gravity to fly in different directions and stuff. You can influence objects around you and the environment, and the art style is really cool. So it's a unique game, not for everyone, but if you're interested in that kind of style and gameplay, you should definitely check it out. And after a long wait, it has been announced that next week, Tekken 7 will get a release date. It was rumored to come out in the first or second quarter of 2017. So we will finally have a release date for the game, and fighting game fans, the fighting game community is going to be really happy about this. They've been expecting this game for a long time, and people can't wait to play the new Tekken because Tekken games are just so much fun to play. Tekken is actually one of my favorite fighting games. And let's move on to geek news. Not much for geek news this week, but a new trailer for Power Rangers was released. It's slightly based on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's an alternate take on that story, and it looks quite good. After watching it, I'm slightly more interested in the movie. It seems like it has a lot of potential to be a fun movie. The only nitpick that I have is the special effects in the trailer look a little bit cheap, like a B movie. Hopefully maybe this is an early trailer footage, like the footage in the trailer is from an early version of the movie before post-production. Maybe they can add better CG or something to to scenes in the movie. But other than that, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. The action looks really cool, and I like the Power Rangers, so the action is definitely something that's going to bring people to see this movie. It looks fun, so definitely check out the trailer if you're interested in Power Rangers. And, well, that's all for this week. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And tell me what you think in the comments about this episode. And, yeah, I'll see you all next week. So long, and